on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell in your afternoon drive. Did anybody else get traded?
Yeah, we do. We have a Celtics trade, everybody. A Celtics trade. Uh-oh, look out. What are the Celtics doing to try to repeat as champions?
Breaking news.
All right, brace yourself. Hope everyone's sitting down here. Backup guard Jaden Springs is headed to the Houston Rockets.
No!
I know! He had so much potential!
He was due.
Jaden Springs, a 2030 second-round pick. What are we going to do in 2030? In a heavily protected future second-round pick.
Heavily protected?
Oh, well, hold on. What do the Celtics get in this deal? They get a heavily protected future second-round pick.
Wow.
Oh, it's going to be big. It's going to replace that 2030 pick.
And a year's supply of Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
I wish. Now, there was another move, a little bit bigger than that. The Thunder trade former Celtic Daniel Tice. Look at that. Daniel Tice coming to the Thunder.
Tice. Feet times a matey.
You say, where did Daniel Tice come from? Where was he playing? He was a Pelican, believe it or not. So Daniel Tice will go to the Thunder and a 2031 second-round pick. Hey, they're building something there. Well, what do the Pelicans get? TBD.
To be determined.
Whoa!
That player's usually the best you've ever seen.
That's a wild card. That can be anything. That can be anything. Who knows? Who knows? Now, if you're just joining the show and you're trying to catch up on all those trades in the NBA, the Bucks today picked up Kyle Kuzma off the floor of the Washington Wizards, plus with his best friend Patrick Baldwin Jr. Kyle said, I'm not going anywhere unless Patty's coming. And a 2025 second-round pick. The Wizards will get Chris Middleton, which is significant. Now, Chris Middleton's been in and out of the lineup since they won the title, even when they were on that run to win the title. Now, he was huge. Jump shot specialist. This dude reaffirmed the mid-range. And now the Bucks are done with the mid-range. They're sending him to Washington, along with his friend, A.J. Johnson. Not Andre Jackson. I was totally, double-taking when I saw that. 2028 first-round pick will also go the Wizards' way in that deal. Those are really the only deals since the Luka trade. And the De'Aaron Fox, Zach LaVine trade, I guess, would be the one before that. But still waiting, still refreshing. They got till 3 o'clock tomorrow to get the paperwork in.
Did you have the KJ Martin one?
KJ Martin, no.
Yeah, the Pistons acquire KJ Martin Jr. from the 76ers.
Whoa. I don't know if that does anything.
The process continues.
2 second-round picks from the 76ers.
Oh, they're giving up on that process in the second round.
A new process.
Whoa, a whole new process.
We're pivoting off the process to this process.
The big process, Joel Embiid had a triple-double last night.
Process. I love it.
And the big process is playing good all of a sudden. Like he wants to leave the process. A whole new process. Can't wait. I cannot wait. Kevin Durant, a lot of rumors. Doesn't make sense, Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, straight up. No? Who loses? The Suns or the Heat?
I don't know how much more you'll have on KD's contract. I mean, I think you've got salary cap implications on some of this stuff. Because I'm reading a bunch of these different trades, potential trades for Jimmy Butler, Brandon Ingram, Jordan Poole, Utah's Colin Sexton, John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, Cam Johnson. So it seems like younger guys that are not making nearly what Jimmy Butler's making. I think KD's probably making too much.
Wow. Well, KD, right now, I'm on his SPO track. Golly. KD this year is making $44 million. Next year, $51 million. That was last year, Dibs. Next year, he's making $54 million, and then after that, he is an unrestricted free agent. So he's going to be looking for another deal. You're going to be giving up $100 million, really less than that because a portion of this year's salary is already paid. So it's going to be less than $100 million for 2 years of service. This would be a win now team for Kevin Durant. I'm talking about win now team. Reports have been Golden State. He has frowned upon that, along with Jimmy Butler. Other reports say Oklahoma City, which I don't know. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? I mean, didn't he leave Oklahoma City because they were just not too cool? And now look who comes calling. That'd be fascinating. I kind of want to see that. But it'd be a win now team. It'd have to be a team that's in, I'd say, the top 4 of their conference. Jimmy Butler, on the other hand, I mean, you're in his world. And the only team he wants to play with is the Phoenix Suns. So the Miami Heat might have to make it happen somehow, some way, and give up a little bit more even for that problem child.
I just think that Jimmy Butler, he hamstrung the Heat with what he said publicly and his actions.
Yeah, well, he did that with all the other teams too. So buyer beware when you pick him up. There were some crazy ideas that the New York Knicks would have Butler and Thibodeau reunite, but that would be weird with him and Karl Anthony Towns, because when he put his middle finger in their
Karl
face,
Anthony Towns hated him for wanting to leave.
and he was yelling. He was basically calling out Cat for being soft back then at that practice. So I don't know if you can let bygones be bygones once again in the NBA. Very fascinating.
I didn't know Jimmy Butler was this old, though. He's 35 years old.
Been around, man.
Yeah.
Playing for a while.
Looks good. Looks good. Making a lot of money.
I mean, he took over for Derrick Rose when Derrick Rose was on the shelf in Chicago. And that basically opened the door for Jimmy Butler to have the ball in his hands the entire time. Chicago? Could they send him there? Would he want that? I mean, he hates that place now, too. He's burned a lot of bridges, man.
I don't think he wants to go back. They're not that good this year.
Burned
I think
a lot
this
of
dude
bridges.
wants to be in big games. He wants to be on the center stage.
Playoff Jimmy.
Yep.
And, you know, it's hard to deny how he does flip that switch when it comes into April. Like, he has had some games that are just phenomenal by himself on
There's
some
no
of these
doubt
teams.
he could carry a team to a championship, you know, but he, like you said, he's trying to handpick a team. Why does he deserve that? We've been saying this for years. I mean, James Harden or Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, all of these dudes, you know, I mean, they want to handpick where they go. God, Ben Simmons was the worst. Kyrie's done this stuff. That the problem is you allowed the first guy to do it years ago, and it's just continued now. And it's not even about the money. I think it's about the power. I can dictate where I want to go. When I've had enough of this organization, I'm gonna, dig my heels in or stomp my feet, and if you don't give me what I want, I'm not playing. I'm taking my ball. I'm going home, and it's just it's so bogus. Because then now the other teams that might have wanted you, had it been quieter and gone under the radar and been like this Luka Davis trade, I mean, that stunned a lot of people, but it was able to happen because neither one knew it was going to happen.
Ben Simmons has played 32 games so far this year.
Oh, my God, that's a record.
It has to be. I mean, there's probably 18 games that he hasn't played in.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit there. He's going to wear out.
You might be right, Kurt. I mean, he's only played 3 in the last 10.
He's delicate.
Delicate flower.
It's just wild. What a wild basketball story. But he's available if you want him. Ben Simmons. Brooklyn Nets still doing it. Still out there starting.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It really is. I want to keep on refreshing, though, to see if we get any more trades in the next couple hours.
That it could happen because baseball does the same thing. As long as the paperwork's in by 3 o'clock Eastern, they may not want to announce it. Maybe they haven't spoken to the players. They probably want to make sure the players know they've been traded and not find out on one of the major networks or whatever, or even our show. But still, that would be good breaking news, though.
We have had a lot of pick swaps. We have had, like Caleb Martin, Quentin Grimes action, Mavs and the 76ers. I still think there's going to be big names, man. I think the De'Aaron Fox and the Zach LaVine, Luka, Anthony Davis, that kind of stuff's not done. I think overnight we are going to have some big names. And it really is this transitioning phase in this league right now. I really feel like you've got 30 to 40-year-olds, the All-Star game, the Team USA, like the Team USA team that you saw a lot of. That was like the old guard. The Team USA team you didn't see a lot of, that's the new crew. And this new crew is kind of pushing out these oldies, especially with the collective bargaining agreement where these oldies now are sitting around collecting $300 million checks, and they keep on breaking down, and their brethren are really not giving them much clout. So I think you're going to see a lot of these oldies get moved around, and it's going to be blockbuster stuff because the names are so huge.
Do you know Chris Middleton had surgery on both ankles this offseason?
No, I did not.
Not just one. Both ankles.
And his knees have been messed up for a while. Like Chris Middleton, he's been falling apart for a while.
Hey, who can we trade for? How about that dude that had both ankles? They've got to be in great shape right now.
For the Bucks, like the Bucks are leaning on defense. We were talking during the break how much Andre Jackson Jr. is beloved up there in Milwaukee because of his D. Like the guy still isn't a great shooter at all, but they don't think that way like most teams. And then this Kyle Kuzma move, like Kuzma has been a great 3-4 spot in this league on some, he's a role player but a starter.
Right.
I thought he came out of the blocks in LA and he was going to have a great career. And he's kind of moved around to the point where he fades away and you forget about him. But now his role has been more about defensive and rebounding at that position than trying to fill up the stat sheet on the offensive end. They've got players on the offensive side. They're going to let Damian Lillard and Giannis run around and do their thing while the supporting cast, picks up the slack, especially on defense, especially rebounding. And that's what this move looks like to me.
Yeah, Middleton just made his debut in December. He's appeared in 23 games since, but he has not been playing like the old one. Kuzma, who's not making as much as Middleton, and averaging more points and 42% from beyond the arc.
That's the thing, man. Is like as much as you want to be paid a max deal, your rope just shrinks. It shrinks down because we can't put up with 20 games here this part of the season. You got to get a return on your investment.
Yeah. And some of these guys are doing it for next year too, for the cap hit and things like that and control. And I could see it, but I want Major League Baseball to do this because it'll force teams to spend money, and then it'll force teams to, when they're not winning, jettison good players to teams that possibly have a shot to win championships. I like that action. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do Dibbles and Bits next, and then got some more tickets to give away. Incubus and Switchfoot burning a hole in Ben's pocket.
That's right.
It's the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive. We'll be right back.
91 southbound.